The Devils interrupted their road trip following the win on Saturday against Washington and headed home for a quick change, and then down to Florida they went. Unfortunately, they didn't bring with them the winning ways, Chico Resch, as the Devils lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-1.
Yeah, I don't want to go on and all. I mean, nothing worked. Either nothing worked or I don't know why sometimes teams can manufacture something working even though maybe they're not playing totally 100% of the game. But tonight, it just started, and I think what bothered me the most, Matty, was the first two power plays didn't really create any of the nice passing and movement that you hope for in a power play, and chances weren't there. And then I could see that Vasilevsky, you're going to have to be good tonight because that guy is feeling it, and he was good all night, and the Devils just weren't.
So the Devils will try to get back on the winning side on Thursday against the Florida Panthers. Looking at some stats from this game, the Devils finished with 32 shots, 4 from Arseny Gritsuk, 4 from Nico Hischier. The defense put pucks on net, but again, the Devils score just the one goal as they fall 5-1. Just the second time this season the Devils held to one goal. They were held to one against Anaheim on that 1-3 Western trip.
Yeah, and that was kind of a clunker too, but I would really say tonight might have been just a little bit worse. And I don't know why. I'm not even going to try to break it down, Matty. Maybe the coach in the post-game show will have more insight than I do.
We will have reaction as we move on. Let's check the highlights of this one, though, first. And the Devils came out and they welcomed some old familiar faces back. First off, Brendan Dillon, who missed part of Saturday's game and then didn't skate with the team but skated on his own yesterday at practice. He was back in the lineup, and, well, he had this opportunity against Andrei Vasilevsky. Here's Brendan Dillon, slap shot off of Vasilevsky. It bounces to his right. He finds it finally. From our perspective, Chico, I thought it was going to go over his shoulder and in. How tasty would that have been for Brendan Dillon to come up with the goal? And unfortunately, no, it lay to Vasilevsky's right. He was able to find it.
Yeah, well, maybe that should have told us what kind of night it was going to be. I thought it was going to go in, but it didn't. And then the Devils still trying to get that first to get the lead. Tried and tried, but weren't able to do it.
Devils had 2 power play tries in the first. They failed to score. And then it was Tampa, not on the power play, but with a turnover and a breakaway. Just called up along with Santini from Syracuse. He dumps it in. Tampa Bay makes a change. Here's Dawson Mercer across the line. Still looking for our first goal.
Breakaway.
Turnover by the Devils. Here comes Gensel. Chalowski racing back, and Gensel able to score. Sort of a pretty big night for Jake Gensel. An ill-advised pass by Dawson Mercer.
Yeah, it was. And then, again, Gensel, when he's at his best, he's a goal scorer. So he goes down, right-handed shot. No, left-handed shot. Leans to his left and then shoots it back just above the pad, just inside the pipe. And you kind of had a feeling that, well, at least he's hot, and we'll see more of him later.
9th of the season for Gensel, the goal at 11:40, and Tampa Bay takes the early lead. At that point, as the period went on and the Devils didn't do a whole heck of a lot, again, the power play killing them tonight. They did outshoot Tampa Bay 14-7, but the way it's unfolding, okay, let's just get out, let's regroup, 1-0, not so bad. But there was another breakdown, and it was 2-0. Sorelli outlets, hoping that Hagel will run after it. Hagel holds part of Dillon and tried to step around him. Dillon wouldn't let it happen, and then they go crashing into the boards behind the net. And as the puck comes out in front, all alone was Kucherov, and he buries it. It's 2-0. There are 18 skaters on each lineup sheet, and of the 36 players that should be left all alone out front, at the top of the list, well, near the top of the list at least, would be Nikita Kucherov.
Oh, he would be right up top. And, it was a bullet. It was, it went right by the left ear of Markstrom, just over his glove. Oh, that thing whistled. I could hear it whistling up here. But he again, Matty, you could see that he had something, like a feel. He was really into it. And unfortunately, that was bad news for the Devils.
Well, and the puck was dumped out, and there was a race on Hagel and Dillon, and it looked like maybe, he was going to get spun around Brendan Dillon. You thought, okay, could the official call some sort of a hold? Nah, maybe it was just a hockey play. They crash into the end wall. You could say, because there was an argument made apparently, that that was icing. But the answer is no. Luke Hughes comes over. He gets his skates tangled. He goes down. Arseny Gritsuk says, I got to do something. He's over. So now the Devils have 3 players in the corner about 15 feet away from each other. That's not good. Not
when it's Kucherov coming late. And those guys know each other. Point knows where Kucherov's going to be, and it was just right on his stick. Wow, did he fire that, Matty? And I know I say that a lot, but it was just so quick. But I mean, I shouldn't be. He's going to go down as a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest goal scorers of all time.
So he gets it gets the lead to 2-0 on his 9th of the season at 19:38. So the Devils go to the dressing room and they come out and they take some penalties. First, Stefan Nason's called for a rough at 4:43. Devils kill that off. Luke Hughes is called for a hook at 9:18, and that was to prevent a stretch pass and a probable breakaway. So the power play for Tampa Bay, always a weapon, it seems, over the last 10 years or so. Of course, that's with Stamkos and Hedman, neither one playing tonight. Stamkos now with Nashville, Hedman out with an injury. And they were 0 for 9 coming into the game over the last 3 and ranked 29th in the National Hockey League. But Gensel comes up with a power play goal on a pass from out high. Radish at the side of the net and puts it home for his second of the game, and it's 3-0. And now you're wondering just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he was wide open, and Gensel's going to, get set up on the left side. Now, in the middle was Point, so I get it. The defensemen were kind of cheating on Point because he had gotten a couple passes, but that left Gensel all alone, and he just shoveled it into the open side of the net.
So he's 2/3 of the way to a hat trick, and Tampa Bay with a 3-0 lead at 10:38. Andrei Vasilevsky faced 32 shots. He got 31 of them. No better save than this on Nico Hischier. Here's a turnover by Tampa Bay. Pass for Brett by Hischier. Poked away. Kept alive at the blue line by Hughes. Now for Hischier drive. Oh, what a glove save by Vasilevsky. What a brilliant save on, really the best opportunity for the Devils tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I say about Vasilevsky. He made all the saves he should. Nothing went through him. He didn't blow anything. And then he makes one glorious save to really put the stamp on it. But, I mean, he did get scored on later, so he wasn't flawless, but that was a beautiful save.
It was. It came at 14:43. 3 minutes and 4 seconds later, though, the Devils do get on the board, but there was a little bit of a question about the goal. Bounces out in front, cleared by Mosier, lands on the stick of Hischier. Here's Gritsuk with a shot, save, rebound, goes in. It goes off of Vasilevsky. We'll see if it's Hischier who poked it home or it's Gritsuk's goal, but the Devils are on the board.
The call on the ice is no goal. We'll review the play.
Well, they're going to have to look at it.
Well, Samuels Thomas just announced that they'll look at it. Bounces in the air off of Vasilevsky.
After video replay, it was determined that Tampa number 90 finished the puck into the goal. Therefore, we have a good goal.
Yeah, and we looked at it, and that was correct. It goes off of Vasilevsky, off of Hischier.
Yeah, and Hischier didn't kick it. He kicked it, but he kicked it along the goal line. And then Moser knocked the puck in the net. And that was late in the second, so you think, okay, that boost they got there late in the second is going to really help them in the third.
Yeah, you would hope that it would carry over. Hischier with his 4th of the season, by the way. Gritsuk and Bratt with the assists at 17:47. But unfortunately, that would not be the case as Tampa Bay would pull away in the third period. Darren Radish made it 4-1 at 4:49 with a big blast from out high, his second goal of the season. And then as the Devils took another penalty, Arseny Gritsuk off for a hold, it was time for the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Now the one-timer by Kucherov. Did that go wide, or was he slapping it toward Gensel?
Oh, good point.
Now Gensel in front. He scores. There's the hat trick. That's how he scored his second goal. He was wide open at the side of the net. That pass early came out high. This one from the near side. And it was the Hattie, and it was his 11th of the season, and it was the last goal scored of the game, and it was the play of the game brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner.
Good call on play of the game, but the Devils are going to have to address that back door. You cannot leave. I don't care who you're playing. You can't leave that back door that wide open twice. And it resulted in 2 goals.
And so the Devils will regroup and get ready for Florida on Thursday. Some players coming back. We mentioned Dylan, of course, early. It's not like he was gone. It just that he missed some shifts on Saturday. He's a little banged up. He missed some time in the second period here as well. But also coming back tonight fully, Dougie Hamilton off a 4-game absence, almost 20 minutes of ice time. Connor Brown, he comes back off an upper body injury that cost him 7 games. He had 15-21 of ice time. Dougie with 3 shots. Connor Brown had just 1. He was a -2. And it was also coming back to the lineup of Evgeny Dadonov. Almost 13 minutes of ice time. Not much of a factor at all. But, overall, a chance for the Devils to get a full lineup back.
Well, and that's why we've got to look to Thursday night against Florida. Okay, these guys have had a game under their belt. Everybody knows what took place tonight. So we've mentioned it before, right? Bounce back. Remember that saying? Bounce back games. That's going to be Thursday.
All right, we'll hear from Sheldon Keefe in just a moment. But first, let's check in with the captain, Nico Hischier.
The result you wanted. Where did things kind of get away in that first period, particularly? I know a couple of mistakes and open back of your net.
Yeah, I think you said it right. I think first period hurt us for sure. A couple little mistakes that ended up in the back of our net, and we got a couple shots in goal, but I think it was not too dangerous at all. So we just got to be better, do a better job in the first period. Obviously, against a team like that, you don't want to be down 2-0, and just got to do a better job in the first period.
Is it just things didn't seem to be clicking? Was it just miscommunication, just not crisp on the passing?
Yeah, just a little mistake that hurt us. I think you got to understand, especially against a team like that that's very good on the rush, we got to put pucks deep. It sometimes sucks to put it deep, but it's just what you got to do. Put it deep. You have a process. Everybody buys into that, and that's how you create. And we weren't very good tonight with that.
What did you see on your goal? Obviously, kind of a fluky happenstance play.
Yeah, at the end I see like he's putting it in, so I obviously didn't know the rule or anything. I kind of bounced it towards the net, and I didn't get a stick on it, but I saw he put it in at the end and thought it was a goal, but I also didn't know the rule really. So, yeah, obviously probably one of the weirdest goals I've scored. So.
Did you know right away that he put it in, or did you have to see the replay?
I saw like he put it in. So I thought like if he touches it and puts it in, it's a good goal. But like I said, I didn't know the rule.
Nico disappointed, not about the goal. It's his first and 7, but the outcome, of course. But you disagree with his assessment of the goal?
No, I just meant that I know Sammy said it was kind of a fluky goal. It wasn't really like he knew exactly. His hands were tied up. He was battling with Moser. He sees the puck. He kicks it along the goal line, which is all you can do. And you're hoping that somebody puts it in other than himself, because it would have been kicking motion, and that's what happened. I just looked at it. I thought, wow, what a play by Hischier. I just wished, it would have meant more than it did, because I really thought it was going to be the spark that the Devils needed for the third period. And there were some sparks, but no fire.
No fire against Tampa Bay.
Turning the lights on.
There we go. Okay. Phil, we'll be leaving in just a second.
Good to see you, Phil.
The Hall of Famer does the radio for the Tampa Bay Lightning. What a presence he is. At any rate, we heard from Nico, his thoughts on tonight's game. Let's get the assessment of the head coach, Sheldon Keefe.
Obviously, special teams was a big factor here tonight, but I want to go back to the last 10 minutes of the second period. It really seemed like your team started to generate some good offense getting to your game. Is there anything that you didn't really see carry over from that stretch into the third?
Well, second period is a bit of its own beast, in terms of the sport. And, we were able to knock some pucks down in the neutral zone and get them tired, and they couldn't get off the ice, all that kind of stuff. That's a lot harder to come by in the third. You don't get the long change and the benefit of that. So, it's harder to generate it. But obviously they score the first. Once they score that, the guys are pretty dejected. There's not a whole lot of energy left after that.
Well, Sheldon, the way that the first period went, was that just more of Tampa? They came with a lot of pace. I think they played a lot faster than Washington even did. And new guys in the lineup, a little bit disjointed, or just a couple mistakes that they capitalized on?
Well, it's an interesting period, right? Obviously, I think the shots are 14-7 for us coming out of that first. Yet, obviously, we're down 2-0, and I think a lot of that is, it can be attributed to we just didn't play quick. We didn't play with a lot of purpose. I thought overall, just of the night, their best players just had way too much fun tonight. And when you give those caliber or that caliber of player those types of looks, it's going to be a real tough night. So we didn't give ourselves a chance to win the 5-on-5 game with the 2 goals we gave up and then how those materialized. And then our power play didn't take hold of the game the way that it did in Washington. So that's a tough recipe to win at any time, particularly now when, we get some guys back here today, but as you can see, they've missed, and they're not up to speed here yet. So, you gotta have a good recipe to win at 5-on-5, and then special teams and goaltending have to go your way, and we were 0-for-3 today.
What was your impression of the 3 guys coming back? A little rust there.
Yeah, they just look like guys that haven't played or practiced, other than yesterday. So it's kind of what you thought you were going to get, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. And with where we're at with the number of injuries we have, we felt getting them the game reps and getting them back going that way is the best way to go about it. They're cleared medically, and now we're just gonna get them going. They'll get better every game, and they got better throughout this game here today. The third period, those guys were much better than they were in the first 2.
And the Devils will try to be even better on Thursday against Florida, and they'll have to clean up their penalty kill, and they'll have to be more efficient on their power play.
Well, we talked about team wins, Matty. This is no question a team loss. 2 backdoor plays. You just can't give that up. Especially on the power play. For the goalie, just make him shoot out at least in the slot area, but backdoor, goalie has no chance. And then you don't give Gensel a breakaway. You do, but that was a big break for them, the first goal of the game. And then, it all happened really in the first period. And then our power play, the Devils' power play, just had no continuity, no special feel to it, passing. Remember we saw, it was in Washington, how quick the passes were. Boom, boom, boom. Tonight, none of that.
Nope, and you all add it up, and you get a 5-1 defeat, as Sheldon Keefe said.
Yes.
5-on-5 didn't go the Devils' way. Special teams didn't go the Devils' way, and he said they lost the goaltending battle, and that adds up to a loss against Tampa. And on Thursday, we'll see Florida and Brad Marchand, and we won't see a couple of stars, but we'll see him, and boy, is he loving life in Florida.
Yeah, it's got to be a bounce-back game for the Devils. They played well down there many times over the years, and Thursday night has to be another.
As the Devils take on the Florida Panthers, it's a game that you will hear on the Devils Hockey Network.